Hello there. Welcome to Commissioner in a Car. I'm Dustin Czarny, Onondaga County Democratic Elections Commissioner. Today is my 100th episode. So, and let me explain. Today is my 100th episode of when I decided to do this on a regular basis. Commissioner in a Car was kind of a sometimes thing around elections. It's kind of a fluke. I did it off and on for a couple of years since the 2016 election, but it was really not something that was like a podcast or a regular thing until May of last year. In May of last year, after we realized that the pandemic, actually late April, in early May, I realized the pandemic was not going away and it was changing everything about how to do elections. I realized that I had to do something more formal, more regular on my Facebook page and also turn it into a podcast so I could disseminate it easily amongst Twitter and other things. And I knew that I had to do something more than just these offhand Commissioner on a Cars. So that's really kind of when I started Zoom with Czarny, which was my interview show that now I do on Thursdays. And so that really became the beginning of the podcast or vodcast or live videocast or whatever we want to call this. And so I was doing some episode cleanup the other day, about a month ago, and I realized that this scheduled Commissioner Car would be the 100th episode on the podcast after the formalization of the podcast. So, which is a long time. A lot of stuff that I did between now and last April or May, almost about a year. So, we did 100 either Commissioner in Cars or Zoom with Czarny's or the Sunday seminars that I've done are counted in that as well. Today's 100. What's going on here at the Board of Elections? Besides the 100th episode of the podcast, that's nice, but that's not really what's important. What's really important is we now know where the primaries are happening in Onondaga County this year. We have primaries, Democratic primaries for the office of mayor in the city of Syracuse, Common Council president, Common Councilor at large, and Commissioner of Education. We also have a Democratic primary for the Council District 1 is a Democratic primary, and then County Ledge, we have a Democratic primary in the County Ledge 15, which is part of the Valley and into Geddes. That's currently held by Bill Kinney. And County Ledge 16, currently held by Vernon Williams, which is mainly downtown. Those are the primary candidates for the Democrats. For Republicans, they have a highway superintendent in Camillus, a highway superintendent race in Lysander, and a highway superintendent race in Skaneateles, and a town council race out in Pompey. Those are the Republican primaries this year, and also the city of Syracuse mayor primary as well. Then we also have a conservative town justice primary in Manlius, and a working families primary for town justice in Salina, as well as a working families primary in County Ledge 5. So these are the races so far for Onondaga County primary for the June primary. What does that mean? Well, it probably means that we're going to open up 4 early voting sites, not all 6, since we don't have a county-wide primary. Camillus, Lafayette, and the 2 sites inside the city of Syracuse are most likely what we're opening up. We'll be determining that on Monday when our board meets and finalizes things for the primary. The general election, we don't do that until May. So we'll be working on that over the next month. We also will be determining which polling sites are going to be open as well. Most likely the polling sites in Lysander, Pompey, Skinny Atlas, and in most of Geddes are going to be open, along with every polling site inside the city of Syracuse. There will probably be one polling site in Manlius and one polling site in Salina, since they are small party primaries, and not everybody has to go. We're not going to open up every polling site there. So we'll be determining that over the next week or so as well. Finally, I think there will be a polling site in Onondaga because of the way OCL 15 snakes into a little bit of Onondaga as well. So that will probably have a polling site open over there as well. Objections are ongoing. We have general objections in on a few different races. On the Pompey Town Council race for the GOP, we have a general objection in. We have a general objection in on the Camillus Highway Superintendent and I believe the Lysander Highway Superintendent we have a general objection in. And we have a general objection in on the Common Council presidency race for the city of Syracuse. Now, if general objections aren't in or postmarked as of yesterday, and they don't get here by tomorrow, then the only way somebody can throw somebody off the ballot is by going to court. They have 14 days from last Friday to start a court proceeding. So we're still about, about 10 days away from knowing exactly who's going to be on the ballot once we get through the objection and any court proceedings that might happen. So at that point, later this month, I'm going to be doing a Sunday seminar about who's on the ballot for the primaries and what polling places are open and all of that. So check that out. I think I got that scheduled for April 25th. And of course, on April 11th, I have my Sunday seminar for how to become an election inspector. Well, we need election inspectors to do these primaries and general elections. So if you're interested in that, check that out as well. Finally, I got my, tomorrow I'll be releasing a Wonky Wednesday for the town of Manlius. This is the one I've been waiting to do. I love the town of Manlius because it's so interesting data-wise. So much change over the last 13 years there. Going from a blood red town to a, pretty blue town. It's not even, you can't even really describe it as purple now. You gotta really describe it as a light blue town, and you'll see that with the data on Wonky Wednesday tomorrow. On Thursday, I'll be interviewing Erica Clark, who is the candidate for city court judge. My Zoom with Czarnys are going to start moving towards interviews with candidates now that we know who the candidates are and where there's primaries and where there's not. I tend not to interview and get involved in primary races because I have to count the votes, and that's something that I feel like we can talk to the primary winners after their primary wins. And so I tend to talk to people on the Zoom with Czarnys that are going to appear on the Democratic line in the fall. And since we don't know that during a primary, I'll be talking to them in July, whoever wins the primaries as well. So we're going to start it off with Erica Clark, and then moving on until we get every candidate on Zoom with Czarny between now and November, which is a lot of candidates considering that this is a local year. I may go to 2 Zoom with Czarnys a week later in the fall if I'm not caught up by then. So we'll see how it goes. So check that out. And Jim Cecil says that I can go into reruns now that I'm in the 100th episode. I don't know how many people watch this the first time through. I don't know, or listen to it. We'll see about reruns. I don't think any reruns, but maybe some highlights. But I don't see any other questions in the chat, so I'm going to move on. I hope you're enjoying this beautiful day. and get out there and get ready, because we are going to be going into the fall season and the primary season pretty quickly, and we're gonna it's gonna be a busy year. So I hope to see you working on your favorite campaigns. All right, thank you, and enjoy your week. I hope to see you reading either Wonky Wednesday or seeing the Zoom with Czarny this week. Bye bye.